So the original DJI Pocket was a pretty incredible piece of tech, offering a very small form factor, 3-axis stabilized camera platform. And what the Pocket 2 did was basically take that exact same concept and make it better. Now that we've all had a chance to actually hold it in our hands and use it for a while, I wanted to talk about one of the main upgrades I would recommend getting for this holiday season, and that is the Polar Pro ND filter set. Now these filters are not new. They actually released when the original Pocket came out, but they are compatible with the Pocket 2. Now while the Pocket 2 is quite capable of holding its own outside in bright environments, it is always best to add ND filters. That way you can get the correct shutter speed for whatever frame rate that you're shooting. Now the rule of thumb is that whatever frame rate you decide, you want to double that for your shutter speed. So if you're shooting in, let's say, 24 frames per second, you want your shutter speed to be locked in at 1/48, double of what your frame rate is. So using that same logic, we'd like to use 1/120 for 60 frames per second, and so on. Now, on cameras like this, I have the ability to change the aperture to adjust how much light is coming into the camera. So in the Pocket 2, we have a fixed aperture at 1.8. So we don't have the ability to open or close that aperture to adjust the amount of light coming in. So the only option is to increase your shutter speed. That way it lets less light in per frame. When you take this whole set of ND filters, you can lock in your aperture. Well, it's fixed, but you can have a set aperture and a set shutter speed and change the amount of light that comes into the camera using one of the provided filters. And in this case, it comes with a ND 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. And that is a very wide range that should be able to cover all lighting situations. Now what you have to remember is that you do have to take that filter off before you power down the device, because it automatically tries to stow the camera. And in doing so, it won't be able to rotate all the way around. So you pop it off, then power it down, it'll stow as normal, and you can put it back into its case. Now when installing these filters, it is not recommended to put it on while the gimbal is turned on. And that's because you are trying to align something and fit it on there while it's trying to stabilize. And what that's gonna do is cause it to try to resist, and it's just not great for the motors. All it takes is, while the unit is powered off, you flip the camera around, put the filter on, and then power it up. And it actually tells you that you have an ND filter installed as soon as you power it on. Now you can pick this setup from Polar Pro direct, or I believe some of the other camera sites like Adorama or BH Photo do carry them as well. It is $79.99. Comes with the 5 different ND filters as well as a polarizer. Now they do offer a cinematic series of this that comes with a higher quality glass, but it is more expensive, and I feel that for the average user, the standard set is going to do just fine. One thing to note is that when you're using the wide-angle lens that comes with the Creator Combo, you cannot put any kind of ND filter on top of that. So you're going to have to deal with the FOV that is standard for the Pocket 2 when using any of these filters. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon. That way you can get notified when I release a new video, and I'll see you guys next time.